Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. This is the day after. We're going up here to Wilmington, North Carolina. We got to start up a mini split cassette unit and a water furnace geothermal unit. Two of the water furnaces that are in the building are already running. We're starting up the one on the second floor, and the mini split is on the roof, the condenser section. It's about 36 degrees out this morning, and I hope everybody is having a wonderful day after Christmas. Let's get out there and get this stuff started up and see how things go. So we installed this mini split last week, and they kind of browned us. It's supposed to go into a drop-in sealant. They ended up putting a metal studded sealant in and sheetrocked it in. So we had to actually relocate it because there was no way to get around and make the connections on the piping and all that good stuff. So it's just terrible circumstances and bad communication amongst the contractors and everybody else. It was damn near impossible, but we made it happen. I'll show you what I mean when I get there, how tight all this stuff is. It's about a 3-4 story high building with a roof access. Have to use an extension ladder up 3 flights of stairs in order to get on the roof. And this mini split condenser is the only thing on the roof. Lag bolts to bolt the condenser down, and we installed a Wi-Fi thermostat with the Wi-Fi connection that's supposed to go on the wall hung mini splits, but we're using it on this cassette mini split so they didn't have to run a thermostat wire because they're using an external Wi-Fi thermostat. And yeah, it sounds like sounds fun. Let's go get into it. Gotta love it. I want to appreciate all the subscriptions I've been getting. I'm almost up to 100. Yay. I love all the comments that you guys have been giving me and the communicating back and forth, and you guys just keep on commenting because I can learn from you guys as much as you can learn from me. So any suggestions you guys have on things I do or things I do wrong, I love it when you let me know if I'm doing something wrong. I really appreciate it. I like the criticism. And I want to give a shout out to NorCal Dave. He's an awesome refrigeration mechanic in Northern California. And HVACR dude, shout out to you. Who else we got? HVAC Genius, you the man. He's been my top commenting man ever since I started putting my work vlogs up. You the man. I appreciate all the comments and the likes and the subscriptions, and I'm probably repeating myself, but I don't give a damn. Let's try and make this light here. I think we got it. But all my YouTube support, man, I love it. I love all of you. I appreciate it all. It's been a wonderful thing. I've really enjoyed doing these YouTube videos. I enjoy sharing the geothermal stuff because I know a small handful of people that can work on this geothermal stuff, and it's not really all that complicated, but it does take a little bit of knowledge to understand how it all works. But basically, your coax coil, which the water runs through, takes place of the outdoor fan motor. So the speed of the water going through the coax coil, it'd be the same thing as the speed of the fan spinning on top of a condensing coil. And yeah, I mean it is. It's not all that bad. I've been happy working on geothermal now for 7 years. I've learned so much about it. I've got a lot more to learn about it, but it's just been a really good educational experience. I do work on just about everything else too, but I more or less specialize in the geothermal part of the refrigeration. and everything else. And I'm fixing to getting ready to get into commercial refrigeration a little bit. So that's why I've been watching a lot of NorCal Dave. Check out his channel. He is awesome. He's very thorough, and he shows a lot of pride in his work. And you don't see that very much anymore, especially with some of the hacks that we have out here working. And I know that HVAC dude with his nice car that he's been waiting for 30 years. I just saw him on YouTube doing donuts in the parking lot. Woohoo! You're the man. We don't get snow very much around here. We get solid ice. I'm right here on the East Coast. And usually we might see a flurry or two once in a while, but 9 times out of 10, it'll rain and rain and rain, and then the temperature drops down to like 20 degrees or below, and everything turns into a frozen block of ice. So we basically ride around on ice all the time. Trying doing donuts on ice is okay, but you usually end up sideways. A lot of these people in North Carolina can't drive in a 1/4 inch of snow. When it snows, or we get a little bit of snow, about 1/4 inch deep, you usually see about on every telephone pole down the road a car wrapped around it. I got my driver's license in Buffalo, New York when I was 16, 17 years old. And yeah, it's I just don't get it, man. These guys, they don't know how to. They like to try and drive like crazy whenever there's snow on the ground. Whenever, all of us know, when you drive in snow, you don't step on that gas and you don't step on that brake. You ease into it and ease out of it, and give yourself plenty of stopping distance, and you basically coast. Gently pump your brakes, you know, that type of stuff. Everybody who drives in the snow knows these things, but these North Kakalaki-ians, oh my God, a little bit of snow on the ground and the whole frickin' North Carolina shuts down. And I know why, because everybody wraps their cars around telephone poles or ends up in ditches. Anyway, we're almost to the job, so we got something here in the road. Let's not run this over. Somebody dumped their trash there, I guess. And well, we'll be at the job in just a minute, and I'll show you what I can show you. Let's see what we get into. So here we are on our rooftop mini split. I don't know if there's any power to it yet, but let's see what's going on here with it. Cool thing about this Mitsubishi, you don't have to have the 1/2 inch adapter. You can use your 1/4 inch adapters, which is awesome. Usually they make you have to use the adapters. I'm gonna go now if there's power up here, but I guess we need to go find out where the breaker is. Rooftop unit 1. Go see if I can find the power to this thing. Oh, yeah, look at that. Nice. I want to say I don't think there's power to it yet. See what they got here. I don't know how well that's going to work. find a breaker. I just think that's retarded. Really do. I said that this has got a condensate pump in it. It's going to pump it up here into this condensate pump. That condensate pump's going to shoot it off and up onto the roof. And that's what we got. And that's what the boss wanted. So I wanted to put a regular condensate pump right over here and just dump this into that, and then send, little red ones that we usually use on the larger units rather than this. But this is how he wanted to do it, so let's do it. There's probably the unit up there that I have to start up. Our compressor's running.
You're taking that piece that you got your hand on off.
Yeah.
Alright? And then replacing it and making it to where it's flush up at the top. See how it's not flush?
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you. You mean right here?
Yeah.
In there.
And it needs to come down halfway. Right there where it's at, it needs to be a little bit higher than that. Just a hair higher.
So where?
See halfway that header? No, the metal stud. You see
Right.
where it's not? Yeah, it needs to be halfway that stud. So when you screw sheetrock and screw plywood, let me go right there.
That way we got an access panel to access them controls and stuff right there.
Ah, so you're just gonna put like an access panel right here.
Yeah.
Plywood, so you can just pop it off and on.
And I'm firing this unit up right now. I'll be done here shortly. I got to run it through a couple tests. Run it through a couple tests, and then I got to go start up the geothermal unit on the second floor, and then I'm out of here. We made connection. All right, so AC works. Now we're running in heat. Let me show you fellas what I found. Put fuses in the damn thing. Do not do shit like this. It's not my responsibility to change these. So they basically made it a non-fused disconnect. I'm here to start this unit up. And I said, what the hell? But this is what I found. This is bull crap. It needs 235 amp fuses in it. I'm gonna let the electricians know they need to fix that. But it is what it is. That just work here. You know what I mean? See what we get here. 208. 125. 125. 216. I don't know what to say here. This is nuts. Do this shit the right way. Don't do stuff like this. This is just crazy. I just wanted to see what this, if they had this thing wired correctly. Wow. Well, if they fail, they fail. Anyway, I'm here to start this unit up. Once this unit's started up, I'm done. Let me try and get myself figured around here. All right, so we're on a commercial geothermal unit here. .217 volts. fire this thing up, make sure it works. Thermal tools over here. I don't even know if this thermostat's set up right, but I'm going to test mode. Test mode, yes. Alright. Let's go down here and see what they got set up for thermostat inputs. Second stage. Let's go ahead and get some temperatures here and pressures and see how she's doing. There is like no room to work in. I'll do the best I can for you, fellas. 44.5 Henry. This thing doesn't have a flow restrictor on it that I see anywhere. So I don't have a 6 GPM or 9 GPM flow restrictor. This one does not. I don't see anywhere. Very tight up here. But anyway, you can see we're getting. Adjust this water flow just a little bit and get down to 42. Let's go 43 by adjusting the wall valve back there. So that gives us 43. Entering. 38.5. Leaving. So that's 4.5 pounds. I think that's too much. Let me see if I can get that down to 37. Let's see what 37 does for us. 37, 41, 37, 41. So 40. And 30. 37 to 40. That's 3-pound drop. Usually that is 9 GPM. So I'm gonna say 37 leaving. Entering. 3-pound drop. That's usually 9 GPM on most units. Okay, this is a 038, so it's a 3-ton. That's probably going to be 9 GPM, so I'm going to go with 9. So let's see what we get here for our entering and leaving temperatures here. .62 entering water. Okay, we're rejecting we're extracting the heat out of the water. That's why. That's how you know whether you're in heating or cooling. Because if we were in heating, it would be 62 going in and we'd be extracting the water out and putting it into the coil. If it was in the cooling mode, then we would be rejecting the heat, so it would be like 62, and then this number would probably be closer to 72, because we would be rejecting the heat through the coax coil. It'll be pulling the heat, absorbing the heat in the evaporator, bringing it in to the coax coil, and the heat would be rejected into the loop, so this number would be higher. That's how you know if you're heating or cooling. So let's do the math on this. Well, we're at 54 now. 54, we call that. And your delta T is the delta T here. So we had an 8-degree delta T. Guesstimating we're at 9 GPM. I'm going to do the math because I'm terrible at it. So 8 times 500 times 9 equals 36,000 heat of extraction. So we're extracting 36,000 BTUs out of the loop and putting it into the evaporator into the home. This is a 38,000 BTU unit, so we're doing really good. Now in the summertime, this number will be much higher, so it'd probably be closer to 9 times 500 times 9 or 10, which would be around 45,000 BTUs, because you're getting rid of 25% of the heat of compression from your compressor. So in the summer, you're getting rid of 25% more heat because of your heat of compression. In the winter, you're using that 25% extra heat of compression to put into the evaporator to give you a better temperature. Usually in the cool-in mode, you do around 20-22 degrees across your delta T, and in the heating mode, you typically do about 29 to 30. So it's usually 10 degrees more in heat across your coil, which I'll see if I can get in there and check them temperatures now. This is my, let's see if I can get some temperatures here. I'll be lucky if I can or not. Looks like I can get its temperature here of what's coming out of our coil. Remember, guys, you always want to make sure you got them grommets in there, because you see how they're dripping. They're dripping, dripping, dripping. If you don't seal that up, it's going to drain your loop, and you're going to have a flat loop. We call it a flat loop whenever the loop is empty, and then you have to juice it with that juicer. We don't want to have to do that in the commercial buildings. Plus, it'll drip onto the sheetrock and all that good jazz. As far as I can tell, this unit is running pretty good. It's about 60 degrees. It's about, well, we'll see here in just a second, because here is our evaporator, and this is where they can usually change the filter. But since it's easier to change the filter somewhere else, I can't hardly even get my head in there. But there's an evaporator coil. Not sure if you can see it or not. But I'll get my entering air temperature from that side, and I'll get our leaving right now, which is 93 degrees. That is probably closer to 94 degrees, but it looks like 93. So we're gonna put on our little paper here. 93 degrees leaving air temperature, and then we got 64 degree entering air. Well, I successfully started up that mini split. I don't know how much of that got caught up, but yeah, so we got that going, and we got this going, and that compressor that I did found bad on that other unit the other day, we're replacing the entire unit. We're putting a water furnace in place of the Climate Master, and we're doing that tomorrow. So hopefully I can film some of that for you. And let you know how that goes. There's like no room to move in here. So anyway, so we had 64 degree entering air temperature. So 65, 75, 85, 95, 63, 93. So that gave us 28 degree delta T, almost 30. On this geo unit. All right, well, I'm going to button this up. I'm going to let it run. I'm going to open this valve just a little bit. I'm going to close this up. I have no idea where the screws are for it. Oh. Looks like the screws are right here. Someone left them here for me. It's always nice when people leave you the screws for stuff. Alright guys, we're about to get out of here. We started up the water furnace and we got the mini split going. It's about 2:15 now. But just want to say peace, like, subscribe. Any comments are always nice, whether they're good or bad. I always learn from you guys. And again, everybody, Merry Christmas. What is today? Today is the 26th. We're going to change that entire unit on that. We're putting a water furnace in place of that Climate Master that we had that problem with, where I had found that leak on the expansion valve equalizer tube where it had a crack on it. And that's about it. So everybody have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.